Okay, someone said my 8-month-old German Shepherd is afraid of new people entering the house or if strangers get too close out in public. I'm very confident in training and he catches on to everything I have taught him, but I don't know the best way to go about changing this issue. Definitely fear based. I have a shock collar, but don't want to use it incorrectly.
Yeah, I don't think the remote collar as a tool for this particular instance is really where you want to start. I'm not going to say that it's not useful, but I do think that there's a lot of other things you can do. So when I get new puppies, about the time that they're 14, 15, 16 weeks old, and especially and even older, I will begin to have people over to my house multiple times a week for probably about 4 to 5 weeks for this specific reason, because you want the dog to understand that there are going to be people coming over. If people aren't coming over and it's out of the norm for people to come over, then yes, it can be scary for the dog because it can never predict when it's going to happen. It has to happen often enough. So, invite your friends, invite your family over, invite people from your church over, something like that. Watch football or baseball games or just something social where people can come over. But that's one thing that you can do. But then inside of that, what do you actually do? Well, place training is actually excellent for this. Yeah, I'll give you an example. So right now, as I was waiting to start the live show, I was waiting for Mandy to show up. And I had Gabby practicing her place whenever Mandy got here, and it allowed me the opportunity to go open the door, greet Mandy, say hello, and then Gabby was able to come over and meet her. But if your dog is a little bit afraid and you have your leash on them, you put them on their place, you've shown them how good it is, and then you have strangers come over or strangers to them, well, you can get one family member to kind of watch them and kind of make sure that they stay on their place. Make sure that your company doesn't come and immediately come try to pet the heck out of the dog, scaring it even more. Just try to help the dog out of that and then help the dog in that. And then as the dog is in their place with the people and you're rewarding, you're going to see that the dog is actually going to begin to relax and not necessarily be so afraid and try to run away. And that's one of the best ways to use place training. There is room for the remote collar in this, but I'm very hesitant to give any advice right now about the remote collar in this situation, because you're not going to, if the dog doesn't have a trained skill. Yeah, let me make sure I want to say this real clearly. If your dog doesn't have a trained skill and you go and use a remote collar, you're going to screw up the dog even more. Do not deploy the remote collar unless your dog already has training that it understands. And you need to be sure that the dog really understands what it is that you're asking them to do before you go pressing buttons on a remote. It's a powerful tool. Man, I sure love the thing, but it doesn't mean that it can't be misused. Just like any other training tool, it can be misused. And I would hate for you to put the puppy into a position to where you would lose the ability to use all the remarkable things that this tool can help you with down the road, just because you're trying to go a little bit faster. So please just be very careful with the use of your remote collar. If you want to learn more about remote collar training, this is the reason you get a professional like myself or somebody that has years of experience with them to kind of coach you through the proper and humane use of this very versatile tool.
So when it comes to the strangers out in public, what?
Yeah, okay. So, thanks. Yeah, thanks for redirecting me there. Like, as far as strangers in the public, and this is advice I give all the time: take your place training, go in the front yard, and that's out in public.